kind of repeat what I asked you at halftime, but what switch with like the switching defense in the second quarter, and how do you feel like that flipped the game or contributed towards it as you kind of went through the second and the third quarters?
Yeah, we just went to 15 and did a good job once those switches were made of being in our shifts, having a low man. Allen hit some shots early before we went to that against DA, and then scored against some smaller guys. Some of them were tough shots, but then Mitchell wasn't shooting and Harden wasn't shooting, so we were sort of willing to live with that, and slowed them down in that second quarter, allowed us to build a lead, and then I thought just for 3 quarters offensively, we did a great job of executing and did a great job of playing with multiple actions and really making the right play, making the right pass. Fourth quarter, not going to talk about it, but.
JJ, you guys finished this month with, it was probably arguably the toughest stretch of schedule that you guys had all season, the best competition you guys had all season. I think you go 15-2. I guess big picture, what do you think changed most? Was it simply just being together and health, or was there an attitude shift or anything like that that you saw kind of as this team has become who it is now?
I think it was a confluence of things, starting with health. I think it's much easier when you have a consistent stretch of health to sort of not even buy in, but settle in to roles and minutes and rotations. We never found that throughout the season. Another big part of that was the second part of roles is just, guys really just embracing things. I think, Luka has had as good of a month as anybody that I can remember in modern NBA, at least since I've been part of it. Certainly LeBron has had those, Harden has had those, Steph has had those, but he just played phenomenally this month, and then everyone else just, had huge impacts. AR getting healthy, LeBron on both ends of the floor, DA and Jackson really just filling in and doing what they need to do to help this team win at a high level. Luke, Rui, their shooting, Jake and Smart, their defense, Bronny, Vando, Max, anytime those guys had to play, we had a good contribution from everyone to the group. I don't think I forgot anybody, did I, that was in the regular rotation?
JJ, just want to ask you about your upcoming game. What is it about the Thunder, the way they are right now, and the way they're sort of constructed right now with the guys coming back? What makes them lethal on the court, and what are the big picture keys you tell your team going into a game like that?
I haven't even started preparing for them. I do know that they're great on both sides of the ball. They're going to make you work for things defensively because of how physical they are, and then they just do a great job of driving. I mean, you really have to do your best to keep them out of the paint. You have to do your best to be square to the ball, not allow Isaiah Joe to ghost out, and not allow Hartenstein and Holmgren to slip roll. I mean, they just are really good at what they do, and they've been doing that now for 5 years, and they know all the nuances, they know all the tricks, they all know the timing of everything. They're just a tough team to guard.
JJ, we've talked to you a lot this season about the role players finding their roles, but clearly over this month of March, it was the stars also finding their roles together. Can you tell us just something about that process that seemed to click? Is there anything that stands out? I know sometimes it's not just like one conversation or something like that. Was there anything early on this season that you seemed to feel a shift, and then it led to Luka, LeBron, and AR finding that harmony?
No, because we never had more than 2 or 3 games together. It's all the stuff that happened this month that we've all talked about.
Kind of to that point, a lot of times we talk about roles. I think we kind of focus more so offensively. What does LeBron make, I guess, his defensive role to you guys during this surge? And I guess, how could you compare it to what he was doing for you guys defensively around this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's been great on both sides of the ball. I don't know what he's averaged during this stretch of games where we've gone now 16-2. But I'd imagine it's around 20 a game. I'd imagine it's around 8 rebounds. I'd imagine it's around 8 assists. He's just doing a little bit of everything at a super high level for us. And again, Luka may get headlines here and there, and AR may get a headline, and certainly our fives have had some games where they could be headliners. But really, it's been every single guy just contributing to winning, and LeBron has led on that.
Let's take a look at the Western Conference standings. The Thunder, the opponent on Thursday, a 2-game lead over the Spurs. Remember, the Spurs hold the tiebreaker in that one. San Antonio comfortably in second. The Lakers with a big win, 2 games up on the Denver Nuggets, which is huge because they own the tiebreaker as well. And the Lakers with 6 games remaining.
So they're really up 3 on Denver if you factor in the tiebreaker. Lakers in really, really, really good shape, James. They hang on in 3rd place in the West.
They worked hard for it.
Yep. Impressive.
Who's going to be their first-round opponent is wild. They're all checking it in there. They thought the professor's making up words.
Niceties? Yeah. I don't even know what I said. Pleasantries?
So, Lakers have been playing their best basketball, guys, and they have a lot of big-time wins over great teams. We just saw a couple of them right there. How important is it to kind of keep riding that momentum into the playoffs? You got this one, and then you got the 2 games with OKC, just to kind of keep it going in the good vibes big game. How important is it?
You're going to get a little break after regular season. Okay, you're going to get a few days off. That's why I would point to, let's sweep the leg until then, because you're not going to get a lot of practice time. For instance, against the Wizards, there were some guys that got some time on the floor, and the coaching staff, they're able to, get a look at some players. Now, tonight, OKC and going out, you're going to have to really have your antennas up and remember what you have secured at 3rd and tiebreakers, and really, play it like playoff style basketball, because that's where you're headed. You're going to get a little break in between. This is serious basketball right here. You've achieved a lot, so it's almost like, you've robbed the bank. You got the money. Let's keep it. You know what I mean? So let's keep what they have and go into the playoff with a good feeling, without losses, anything that's going to make you feel bad or set you back. And that's the mentality they got to go going out.
I mean, Brez, you're going to face the division champs twice, once on the road, once at home, and you got the Cavs. I'm not overlooking Dallas, but those 3 games, is that a measuring stick for you?
Yeah, I think so, too. And if the Lakers do themselves just a few more solids, win just a few more games, maybe they get to coast the last game or 2 and just kind of punt it. There's a chance they can wrap up 3rd with 2, maybe 3 games left. That's probably not going to happen. Denver's on their tail a little bit, but they have the tiebreaker with Denver. Obviously,
Denver's won 6 in a row.
Denver's playing well, but it'd be nice for the Lakers. For the first good news, the first big step is we're not talking about them in the play-in tournament. That's been a couple years since that was a situation for them. But I remember after that Boston loss not too long ago when they scored 89 points. It's like, are they going to be suddenly kind of trying to fend off the number 7 team, which was Phoenix at the time and still is?
A little worried.
Thankfully for the Lakers, they have not. They're well ahead of that, and they've tucked away all the important tiebreakers with the hard work they've done over the last few weeks, James. So, yeah, maybe just a few more quality W's over these last, 5 games or so. Maybe they can cruise the last couple of regular season games and obviously not play during the play-in tournament time.
These last 7, 8 games are going to be wild. Rockets right now are up big on the Knicks. Like, you're just going to be watching those 4, and Lakers are going to be somewhere in there. So let's hope they can keep winning as well. With 33 points tonight, Luka Doncic would reach 15,000 points for his career. That would be the 6th fewest games to reach that mark, behind only some of the greatest scorers the game has seen. Just Wilt, MJ, the Big O, Kareem, and Elgin will have done it faster. Pretty impressive, James. He's just been incredible, really. 6 40-point games in his last 12. I'm kind of running out of ways to describe him, but this could be one of the best months of his career. March 2026.
I had 16,000 my entire career.
And you scored a lot of buckets.